all my dear green geeks. Today I come to you to talk to you about these absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, stunning plants which are called the Codium variegatum. Now, it's more commonly known as the garden croton. Most of you must have come across these plants as they commonly adorn gardens and parks and also brightly lit indoor spaces. They bring beauty and interest to any dull garden or any dull area. They just liven it up with color. These plants are the most colorful that I've come across, especially in their foliage. Now, in my balcony, I have a very little sunlight and I cannot keep many flowering plants. That is why I choose to keep plants that have interesting leaves, interesting foliage that will add color to my display of plants. So, crotons are a good choice for such gardens. Now the ones that I have here are fairly new purchases. Like these ones that I have planted in earthen pots are maybe 2 months old, and this one is still in a bag. As you can see, I've still not potted it into a ceramic pot or a earthen pot, and these also are fairly new. Now the sunlight that I receive is not too much. It's just 1 to 2 hours of sunlight in direct sunlight in summers. But uh, these crotons that have been here for some time haven't changed color much. What are garden crotons? Now these are evergreen perennial shrubs that are found in tropical areas. They are native to places like Malaysia, Indonesia, Australia and Western Pacific Ocean islands. Now in our country, in India, these plants thrive and they do very well. So you can even go and plant them out in the garden, and you can see that in India there are many places, many gardens that use these shrubs to beautify them. These are a few clippings of crotons that are being grown in the apartment building premises where my brother lives. Let's just have a look at them. Crotons do very well when they are planted directly in the ground, but if you are living in a place where winter is very harsh, they cannot be planted directly into the ground because they will not survive. They belong to a tropical climate. Crotons can grow up to be really very tall shrubs. They can grow up to be 6 feet tall too. That is if you give them ample mud or a really large container. As you saw in the clip that I showed you before, they were planted directly in the ground and they were growing really big. Now there are many different croton plant variants like the ones that I have here, and the names that I've come across for them are lemon petra, golden dust and so on, but I'm not really sure what each one of them is called. So if you already have knowledge of that, please do share with me in the comment section below. Today we will look at how to care for these plants, especially when you keep them indoors or when you keep them in your balcony areas. So the first thing that we need to do is select a good pot for the plant. The pot that you select must have good drainage holes at the bottom, because the plant, like any other plant, does not like to have wet and soggy roots. The water must drain out. The next thing is the soil that we choose. The soil must be rich in nutrient and also must be a good loamy soil that has good drainage, that doesn't hold too much water and doesn't compact the roots. It must not be a very clay based soil. So good draining soil will really help your plant to thrive. The next thing is find a good spot for your plant. Now crotons, to maintain their color, need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight. I have been getting a consistent 2 hours of sunlight in the summer months, but my crotons have not lost their color. They're pretty okay. They are looking yellow and the spots are there, the variegation is there. So I think it should do well even with a lesser amount of sunlight. Sometimes too much harsh and direct sunlight might even cause tip burns in the leaves. So you have to be careful and you have to observe your plant, how it is doing, and then accordingly put your plant in a proper good sunny spot. The ideal location is a east or west facing window where it will get at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. But if that doesn't work, you will just have mildly colored crotons instead. Like in this clipping, you can see that crotons are planted in a row, and the ones over here have dappled sunlight, very minimal sunlight, and the spots on their leaves are very less. But this one over here is having a sunny spot and there's direct bright sunlight shining on it all day, and the leaves are bright and yellow and so vibrant. The next tip is keep your plant away from drafts. They do not like windy drafts or cold drafts, or directly under the fan, or where the air conditioner breeze is blowing. Please keep it in a place where there aren't any drafts and they will do well. Move your plant as little as possible. Don't keep changing the place of your plant, because crotons like to get used to the place that they are in, and they will do well and they'll adjust to that place. So the moment you move them, they have to adjust to a new place all over again, and it might stress your plant out. Water your plants regularly. I water my plants every single day, especially in the summer months when it's very hot and when it's drier. Plants need to be watered every day. But you have to keep an eye on your croton. Overwatering also may cause harm to it. Crotons are tropical plants, like I told you before, and the temperature for them in the day should be around 21 to 27 degrees Celsius, and in the night it can go down to 18 degrees Celsius. The ideal humidity range for a croton plant is between 40 to 80%, and it can, if it is around 70%, it's really optimum for the plant. If you are in a dry climate, use different tips and techniques to increase the humidity around your plants. I will probably do a video on that somewhere in the future. I fertilize my crotons monthly and use fertilizers that are rich in nitrogen and potassium, because that is what the plants need. They need a good rich soil, so you need to fertilize them. If you want your crotons to grow really tall, when they fill up your existing pot, always repot them and put them into a pot that's at least an inch bigger, so that the roots fill up the entire pot. Now, if you want your croton to remain the same size, you don't have to do that. You have to keep it in the same pot for a longer time. So what you can do is, you can just scoop up 2 to 3 inches of soil from the top and replace it with good nutrient rich soil. This you can do instead of repotting it. As you can see behind me, the background has gone really dark. That is because the sky is filled up with the dark clouds, and I think it's going to rain. Okay, the last thing that I want to tell you about your crotons is, you may encounter some problems while dealing with these plants, especially the tips burning or turning brown. When this happens, you have to check if you have watered your plant properly or not. The plant might be getting less water, so just check and see if the soil is damp enough. Oops, it started raining. Okay, so the rains are here and it's really exciting. Thrilling. I would have to now hurry up and finish my video. I have to tell you this, that if your leaves are wilting, you must be overwatering your plant. So you have to keep a check on your plant to see that they're getting exactly what they want, and I'm sure your plants will thrive. Okay. If the colors are fading, provide more light. Provide more shade if there are grey patches on your leaves. If there are spider mites that have attacked your plant, use a soapy solution. You can mix a little bit of soap with water and you can wash the leaves of your plant. Put your love into it, and all the best with your crotons. Do like the video if you have enjoyed it, and do subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed as yet. Leave your comments below if you know the variants these are, or anything else about crotons that we should know about, or the experiences that you have had. Please do share them with us. We would really value that. See you next week and stay green.